These are the brand new Sony compact G lenses. We got a bite-sized 24, 40, and 50mm to play with.
And we're currently in Seoul, South Korea, so let's see what we can capture on our adventures today with these babies right here. Let's go.
Now, I should give a fair warning. This is my first time in South Korea, my first time experiencing the culture. So I do apologize for my horrible pronunciation of some of these local spots that we are in. So we're currently at Gyeongbokgung Palace.
All right, that's good.
Thank you. I try. It's a bit windy today. We've got some cloud coverage, the sun's peeking out, so we should be able to get some nice shots with these lenses. Let's go.
So I really love the 24 for these types of architectural shots. It's because this place is already pretty massive, so ultra wide angle lens would push these sort of temples really far away, but the 24 keeps it nice and present in the photo. And I just love how tiny this lens is. You know, I just don't feel as tired carrying this around trying to shoot. And of course, these compact lenses all fit in a bag like this. I can easily pull lenses out and swap them out, and they retain relatively same weight. So really like this for like these types of travel photography.
The weight and size are definitely the key highlights of these lenses. If you decide to own a set of these, together they come in just over a pound. But we're gonna go over some of the reasons why you may not want to own all three in a later part of this video.
All right, so right now I swapped over to a 50mm. It's time to get some detailed shots. So we're gonna focus on the roof of the buildings and some of the guards here, do some portraits with the 50. And this is really nice because it's gonna offer us a bit of a contrasting look over the wider 24. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have a bad hair day. We've been here for 3 days now. When we're not shooting, it's not windy, it's nice and warm. But now we're shooting, it's cold and it's windy. This is how it is when it comes to travel photography and videography, guys. All right, so we've shot a lot with the 24 and the 50. I think we got a lot of great stuff. Now it's time to switch to the 40. Now, here's the thing with the 40, and like, you probably wouldn't want to get it if you're already planning on getting the 24 and the 50. I mean, you can still get a variety with all three lenses, but in my opinion, it's probably best to go for 24 or 50 or 24 or 40.
Now, let's not forget, these are G lenses. They're high quality stuff. Not the levels of G Master, but still pretty G. Yes! I knew I had to make a K-pop reference while we're out here in Korea. Now, I found all these lenses to be sharp wide open in these real world shots, but that's not hard given their generous aperture value. The f2.8 and f2.5 are definitely adequate enough for low light and bokeh, but if you're bokeh obsessed, then you probably don't need me to tell you that these lenses aren't for you. You wanna go for this big guy right here. Ooh, so buttery. Now, the three lenses are built nearly identical with a few minor exceptions. Handling wise, they are the same across the board. We got an autofocus manual focus toggle, a focus hold button, an aperture ring, and a declick toggle for smoother aperture transition. The hoods are obviously a little different. The 24 being the wider lens have an outie hood versus the 40 and 50 having a innie hood. Wow. Way to go. Describing lens hood like they're belly buttons. Good job, Jason.
All right, after what seems to be like a maze, we are here at Bukchung Hanok Village. This is a very interesting path where a lot of traditional buildings. So let's see what we can get with these lenses here.
These lenses are dust and moisture resistant, so it'll probably be fine in a little light rain. But keep this in mind, both the 24 and 50 use ED glass to help suppress color fringing, but the 40 does not have that ED glass, and that's just to help it keep it the same size as the rest of the herd. Now, I don't know if I'm reaching, but I do see a little purple fringing here on the roofs in this shot versus the 24 looking pretty clean. But it's something I wouldn't have noticed unless I zoomed in, so it's not glaringly obvious, which is a good thing. And I haven't seen much of it in the other photos that I took with the 40mm. Now, what's really nice that I think will go underappreciated is that all three of these lenses share the same 49mm photo thread size, so you can just buy one ND or CP filter and use them across these lenses without having to buy multiple or step-up rings to adapt. I really love the uniformity and consistency across these three lenses right here.
You know, I gotta say, using these lenses on the a7C makes me really reminiscent of my APS-C days with the a64, a6500, the small bodies with the small lenses. It's just a breeze to carry them around while we're out on our adventures. Except now in 2021, we have a compact full-frame sensor body and these compact lenses here.
And that's not to say the other models can't enjoy the smaller sizes as well, especially a7 III users. I've personally used it on the a7S III and have found it to be a nice change in pace to not feel that front drag that we would normally feel using some of the other bigger lenses.
Wow. All right, so we're inside of the Starfield library inside of Coex Mall right now. And look at this place. It's grand, it's massive. So I'm thinking we can do some great portraitures with all three lenses just to show you guys some of the different results that you can get shooting portraits with any of these three lenses. So I kind of talked about this in one of my videos. So in terms of environment and subject, these are both great for environmental portraits. So the 24, I like to say, because of its wideness, favors the environment more so than the subject itself, whereas the 40 or 35 kind of favors the environment and the subject equally. The 50, on the other hand, favors the subject more so the environment. You still see the environment behind them, but it's more focused on the subject. All right, so in terms of a vlogging age-old debate, is 24 wide enough for vlogging? Well, here's what I can tell you. Since it's a much smaller setup, I'm not getting as tired holding this to vlog with. So yeah, 24, definitely vloggable.
Autofocus, especially video autofocus, is smooth, and that's because these compact G lenses are using double linear motor, and it focuses quietly too. Even manual focus control on these lenses are handled extremely well. We've come a long way from fly-by-wire lenses doing next to nothing when you rotate the focus ring, but in the recent years, we've gotten some nice sensitivity on the newer Sony lenses, so it's gonna be great for video shooters who use focus post systems, because these lenses got them teeth grip. Alright, some parting thoughts. Each of these lenses are going to cost $600. Depending on which one you're going to buy, it's probably going to be worth it or not worth it. We'll start off with the 40 first. To be honest, I would urge most people to go for the 35mm f1.8. Yes, it's $100 more. Yes, it's 100 grams heavier, but the lens is so small anyways, I think the difference is going to be negligible. I think a lot more people will be happier with the 35 1.8 than the 40mm f2.5. And I do find the video autofocus on the 35 to be pretty decent as well. On the other hand, the 50mm f2.5 is really nice for hybrid work, especially if you lean more towards the video end of things. As we saw earlier, the video autofocus is smooth and the manual focus handling is the best compared to most other 50s out there. However, if you're only doing photos, can't believe I'm recommending this, I normally don't. But the fantastic plastic, the nifty 51.8 for $250 is worth considering. It's a budget 50 1.8 for $250. Now the reason why I don't recommend the 51.8 for video is because from what I remember, the video autofocus wasn't that great and it was pretty loud at focusing. I think those flaws won't bother photo users too much, but it just makes me kind of wish they updated the 51.8 instead. However, if you have a bigger pool of budget, I would highly recommend spending $400 more for the Zeiss 55 f1.8. But if video autofocus is your jam and you really love that smooth manual focus handling control, then get the 50 f2.5. And finally, the 24mm. That's the one that I'm probably gonna recommend the most because there's no equivalent on Sony's end besides the G Master f1.4, and that one is twice the price and likely more than twice the weight and size. I really enjoy this lens the most out of the three, and if I had $1,200 to spend, I would honestly get this lens and spend the other $600 on the 85 1.8. If you've been following my channel for a while now, you know that's my two favorite combination right there. Otherwise, if I had to pair two of these three lenses, I would pair the 24 and the 50. Those two are gonna give you some nice duality contrasting perspectives. But even as standalone individual prime lenses, the 24, the 40, and the 50 are fantastic. The quality is there. You'll enjoy it if you're looking for something that's light. Vivian and I always strive to bring you guys the best and most unique image and video samples whenever we talk about cameras and lenses. And oftentimes we have high production costs to make this all happen. It's sponsors like Squarespace that help fund our production budget so we can keep bringing you guys more high quality samples. So the best way to support us and to help us continue to do what we do is to simply check out how Squarespace can help you. Link down below. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to create beautiful websites. No coding knowledge whatsoever. Perfect for people like me because I just want to make YouTube videos for you guys and not have to worry about coding my entire website. Simply just select one of their templates to get started. Every aspect is easily customizable with their drag and drop feature. Whether you're in need of a portfolio, an e-commerce store, or even a simple blog, design it with Squarespace. Use my link down below to test it out, and when you're ready to launch your first website or domain, use my code JasonVong to save 10% off. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.